some Python. Python is an object-oriented programming language that is used mostly everywhere on the globe. Python is basically used for creating simple programs, simple apps, and for many other purposes. And in today, I'm going to be teaching you guys a bit of Python, just like a little tiny bit of Python, so you can understand the basics of this programming language. A programming language is some kind of computer language that gives instructions to a computer, and then the computer executes that program, and whatever is written in that program, the instructions that are given are executed. That means they are run on the platform. So in this Python tutorial, we're going to be learning print statements, comments, multi-line comments, variables, and simple data types. First of all, we're going to learn about the print statement. So hopefully guys, you are ready for this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and we'll see you with the print statements. Print statements is a statement which prints out or just outputs text or values, numbers, whatever, in the debug or output console. To make a print statement, simply type the keyword print and then add a set of parentheses, add a set of double quotes. I actually forgot the name. So add a set of double quotes and then type any text you want to output in the console. In my case, I want to output sub to extra, so I'll type print parentheses and then some double quotes, and then I'll type sub to extra. When we run the program, Python executes the program, and which the instructions are given in Python are executed, and they make sub to extra. Okay, so we're gonna clear this. Now you can basically type anything over here and Python will execute and then print it out in the console. For example, we write my channel is a learning one. My channel is a learning one. Run the code and it outputs my channel is a learning one. Similarly, we have many other statements we can use in a print statement. Those are called print commands. For example, the \n command will add a new line. For example, if we type my channel name is extra and \n, and then we type sub to it. When we run the code, we see that my channel name is extra and sub to it in a new line. This is how to make new lines in Python in print statements. Now you can only print out text, but you can also output numbers or integers, which is whole numbers. The first way to do it is type it in double quotes, as you can see. The second way to do it is not in double quotes, but simply just typing a number. As you can see, it works the same. And you can also use operators operators are basically just addition and subtraction operators. You know, we use them to operate our calculations. For example, the addition operator and the subtraction operator. There we go. And now if you run the program, it outputs the answer from 7483782 added by 473467 subtracted by 8784. Yeah, that's a bit long calculation, but it basically works, so Python can also be used as a calculator. This is going to be it for the print statement. Next of all, we're going to be learning about comments, so stay tuned for that. And pretty much for now about Python comments. And comment is basically something in every scripting language, in every programming language. Comments are in every, you can't imagine a programming language without a comment or comments. There are two types of comments, the single line comments and multi-line comments. We're going to be learning about multi-line comments later. Okay. So a single line comment starts with a hash symbol and any text, for example, sub to extra. When we run the program, the script will ignore this line, so it won't generate any error. Comments are typically used for like understanding. For example, this line of code will output 10 in the console. There. So we have an understanding comment which says that this line of code will output 10 in the console, and then when we run the program, we get 10 in the console. That's basically it for comments. Comments are ignored when a script executes, and they're also like just for understanding purposes, so you know what this line of code does. This is going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys liked it, and in the next video we're going to be learning about multi-line comments. So this is going to be it for now. Peace. About comments. Comments are something that a script ignores. Like this is a big comment, like I have some dashes just to make it a bit nice. Python tutorial 1, then we have all these contents in the Python tutorial 1. Then we have like a big hashtag line just to like separate it from the code. This is a big comment. It's just for entertainment or understanding purposes. It does nothing for the code. That's how you can make multi-line comments as well. Multi-line comments don't require a lot of hashtags. They can just be of one or two letters or characters. They start with one or two characters and then end with the same pattern of characters. Character used to make a multi-line comment is 6 strings. 3 above and 3 down, and then whatever you type in the set of strings will be a comment. Now there are some differences between these simple line, as a single line, and the multi-line comment. Single line comment, of course, is just a hashtag, and it has only one line of letters. a single line comment can contain two hashtags, one up and one down, but in between it won't, and you can just do this to make more. But still, this is not a multi-line comment. It actually is a multi-line comment, but then it's not a multi-line comment because it requires a lot of hashtags. But while the multi-line comment in a string only requires 6 of these strings, and you can write multiple, like hundreds of lines, infinite lines, limitless lines here, and the script will do nothing. No error will generate, and no other characters will be required. That's the main difference between, not the main difference, but a difference between multi-line comments and single line or hashtagged comments. Another big difference is the color. This is the color of a string, and this is the color of an actual comment, which is green. This is actually not a multi-line comment, but a string. Multi-line comment is actually this infinite lines, but each has a hashtag. This is actually a multi-line comment. This is actually a multi-line comment. This is actually just a string. And a string contains text or whatever, a letter, whatever. Okay, and yeah, I guess that's basically the difference between multi-line and single-line comments, or just comments. So hopefully you guys liked it, and in the next topic we're going to learn about, the next topic is variables. Don't forget to watch that, and for now this is going to be it. Peace. About some basic commands in Python. For example, the print statement, comments in Python, and multi-line comments in Python. Now we're going to take one step further and learn a little bit difficult stuff called variables. Variables are also in every object-oriented programming language. A variable is a placeholder which references a value with it. For example, we make a variable with the name myvar equals, and we have some text like sub to extra, and then we could do anything with this myvar's value. For example, we could say myvar equals I just changed myvar's value. And what about we print myvar's value, myvar, and run the program. It says I just changed myvar's value. So what we can do now is we can add a print statement before we change the value of myvar, so we can get what the actual value of myvar is, and then we could like change myvar's value to something else, and then we could print what the changing value looks like in the debug or output console. When we run the program, it first says sub to extra, and then says I just changed myvar's value. You can also add another print statement saying like now I am going to change myvar's value. Copy this print statement, paste it over here, and then I'm gonna say look at the changed value of myvar. Let's run the program. sub to extra. Now I'm going to change my var's value. Look at the change value of my var. I just changed my var's value. There we go. Now we have a simple program that has my var set to sub to extra. This is the default value we've given to my var, which is a string. Then we're gonna print my var's default value. We're gonna print that I'm now gonna change my var value. Get ready, I'm gonna change my var's value. Then we assign my var's value to I just changed my var's value. Then we print, look at the changed value of my var. We tell the viewer to look at the changed value. I've changed the value of my var. Take a look at it, and then we just print out what the new value of my var is. Simple program. No such thing that needs to be like really lengthy. Now we also have a simple data type called an integer or a whole number. I've already explained it. This is an integer or a whole number. To make it more simple, we can write 920. So my var is now 920. And then we could say my var could be 930.29. If you run the code, first of all we have 920. Now I am going to change my var's value. Look at that change value of my var, 920.29 or 0.29. This is a float. We're going to discuss floats later. To keep it simple, don't add a decimal point and keep it as a whole number, as an integer. This was variables. Variables are basically placeholders that have a reference data type value. And we're going to learn about simple data types in the next step. Hopefully you guys like this one. And next we're going to learn about simple data types. For now, this is going to be it. Peace. About print statements, comments, multiline comments, and variables in Python in this Python tutorial 1. Now what we're going to learn about is Python simple data types. Now again, every OOP or object-oriented programming language has data types, and we're just going to discuss some simple data types of Python. Let's create a variable called myvar, and let me tell you about camel casing. This is in camel casing. We have the first letter short, the first character in lowercase, and then the next word's first character in uppercase. This is kebab case. In kebab case, we have the first letter in short and the second letter also in short, but with a dash separating them. Next of all, we have snake case. Everything is short, but we have an underscore. So you can use any of these casing. I prefer to use camel casing. Okay, so my var equals, we're going to make an integer or a whole number, 90. We're going to create a myvar 2. Myvar 1 equals 829.92. This is a float. As you can see, a float is a data type in which we have a decimal number or a floating point number. Myvar 2 equals, now we're going to have a boolean value or a bool value, which can contain true and false. We're gonna make the value, assign it to true. Lastly, we are gonna create a variable called myvar3, equal it to a string or some text. This could even be a single character or multiple characters. For example, hi there. Now you don't actually need to make multiple values of, actually, I'll forget that. Okay, so we're gonna print out my var. Copy it, paste, paste, paste. And my var 2, my var 1, and my var. When you run the program, it outputs 90, 829.92, a true value, and hi there. These are all the values assigned to these variables we made. Okay. Now there's another statement we can use, which is the type statement. Type means what type or what data type this variable contains. We're going to use the type statements on all of these. Go over here as well. Type, then a set of parentheses, type, a set of parentheses or round brackets. These brackets are called parentheses or round brackets if you already didn't know. When you run the program, you may see it prints out something that is not actually really familiar with you. It didn't print out the values of these variables, nor it printed out the names of these variables, but it printed out something in angle brackets, and it says type, and in single quotes, int, float, bool, and str. Int, which our first variable is an int or an integer, it basically tells us the data type of any object or whatever, any variable. First of all, we have an int, then we have a float, a bool or a boolean, and then an str, a stir, or a string. It doesn't matter how you name it. Those are just like the short forms. Okay, so this is with the simple data types in Python. Now we have completed the first tutorial, Python tutorial 1. Hopefully you guys liked it. Subscribe to the channel, like, and comment down below if you want more from the Python tutorial 1 series, the Python tutorial series. This was episode 1. We learned a lot of stuff in it, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh!